You're my boys, Splashy here, and today's video is basically going to be what a lot of people have been waiting for. It took a lot of labbing and reading over and over and over and seeing what activates and what doesn't activate. And today's video is basically going to be a badge tier list. This badge tier list is going to get you right from every single asset of whatever you need on this game. So let's get straight into it. For my tiers, my tiers are always different. I don't like doing A, B, S, D, F, G, U. I like doing, we got God tier. That's going to be for like the gloves of the world. Necessities, which means you should have it on, but like, you should just have it on. Like, especially like say for a guard, like obviously you should have handles for days on. Doesn't mean it's God tier, but it's a necessity. Decent mean it works, but it's not, breaking no barrier. I might change decent to underrated. Yeah, I'm gonna change decent to underrated because like it's badges that you wouldn't think are like that, but they're really like that at the end of the day. But they're not necessities or God tier. And then we're gonna have decent, and then we're gonna have badges that obviously don't matter. Green machine this year, I believe it's a necessity. The reason I think it's a necessity is because the inconsistency of timing when you shoot the ball, and it's 96 different timings, and you have no cue anymore. If you don't know what a cue is when you shoot the ball. Say I want to release the jump shot at the tip of my head every time. You can't do that this year. One shot's going to be early, next shot's going to be late, the next shot's going to be green, the 5 shots are going to be green. So when you green it, you need that boost to make sure you can keep greening as long as you want to. Guard up. I think guard up is decent. And the reason I think guard up is decent is because it's the same kind of thing with Deadeye in the past. Like, you don't see guard up activate at such a rate that like, yeah, bro, I'm greening 100s. Yeah, bro, I'm greening 96s. Yeah, bro, I'm greening 206%. Like, you just shoot it. Sometimes you green contested. I don't even be having guard up on and I green contested. I put guard up on. It's not like I'm greening more contested shots. So I'm just say it's decent. Like, obviously, the explanation and definition of the badge lets you know what it's supposed to do, but I don't think it's like, I wouldn't say it's invisible, but I wouldn't say it's a necessity or underrated. Limitless range, well, I actually don't even think limitless range is really a necessity this year. I'm going to put limitless range at underrated, and the reason I'm going to put limitless range at underrated is because I don't think you guys understand how far you have to stand for limitless range to pop up. Last year, if you guys don't remember, when Chef was like glitched and you have to stand at like the half court line to shoot the ball, like, you have to stand so far for limitless range to pop up. And that's why I think it's more underrated, because most of y'all think y'all are shooting from limitless range, and it's not even limitless range. A step, 2 or 3 steps doesn't even activate limitless range. You have to step almost 2 steps past half court for it to activate. So I think it's underrated because you guys don't know how overpowered the badge really is. But y'all gonna get to it. Midi Magician, I also have an underrated because this is for post raid. Dang, my bad, nasty mouse up. This is for post fades. This is for post shots. This is for anything in the midi. This is for fade in midis. This is for backwards midis. This is for midis while you point at your mom in the crowd. This is for midis while you point at somebody else's mom in the crowd. Like, this badge is so good in the midi because the midi is in 2K I usually take it as one of the most useless shots because it's very easy to stop somebody who's shooting midis, but it's actually nicely overpowered this year if you know what you're doing in the midi. Slippery off ball. I think slippery off ball is also underrated. And the reason I think it's underrated is because it's not even for Dexing. If you guys don't know what Dexing is, it's when, like, say you play promo rec and you're a sharp or somebody on the wing and you just keep moving back and forth off ball. It's hard to do it this year because you lose an adrenaline boost, but it's not just for that. This is for how fast a center can slip the screen. If you have slippery off ball on, when you're setting a screen and you try to slip, it's considered you using slippery off ball. So if you have slippery off ball high on an inside center or an outside center, you slip so much faster than somebody who doesn't have slippery off ball on, and the movement off ball is very hard to guard this year. So I like slippery off ball is underrated. Space Creator, I believe Space Creator is decent. I want to put it in underrated because like I watch like a Ticino or somebody else spam Space Creator moves and they keep getting ankle breakers or they keep getting enough space to do it, but everybody's not doing that. And if everybody could do that, everybody would be doing that. I don't think it's underrated. I think everybody knows what Space Creator does. I just don't think Space Creator is like really it. Like, I just think Space Creator is just a decent badge. Next we got Volume Shooter. I believe Volume Shooter is a necessity, and the only reason I believe it's a necessity because if you play in a game mode any game mode in my career, it pops up every play. Any badge that pops up every time you shoot, like last year was like a stop and pop or something of that nature, you always want to have those type of badges on because you know your badge is activating. Next, we got bailout. Bailout is God tier, and the reason bailout is God tier, and everybody knows this, is because you play somebody who's passing out of their shot everywhere on the court, and the badge isn't even needed to do it. The badge is needed to get a clean catch, but the badge isn't even needed to throw the bailout. Like, I can throw the ball from the paint out to the left wing, and he's not going to catch it. He's going to drop it, but he's going to pick it back up. Therefore, I didn't get a turnover. So that's why the first badge I'll be having in God tier is bailout, because bailout been running stuff since before it was a badge. And for some reason, it's only getting better. So y'all know how that goes. Break starter. I think break starter is invisible. And the reason I think break starter is invisible, because I've played with centers who have break starter on like gold or silver. You still don't get clean catches this year because like your player wants to turn around and do a 720 catch. And no, vice grip doesn't save the day. I've had vice grip on Hoff and I've had break starter on gold, and we still weren't getting clean catches. So at that point, it just has to do with pass accuracy instead of actually having break starter. And I don't really like break starter this year. Like, I'm not a fan, honestly. Maybe if glue hands were still in the game, it would be souped, but it's really not. Ankle breaker. I got ankle breaker in necessity. If you are going to... do I want to keep it in necessity or do I want to put it in underrated? I'm going to put it in underrated because a lot of y'all don't know how good ankle breaker is this year. Like, you get a stun or get them out the way every single play. If you get somebody who has Hall of Fame ankle breaker on and you spam the right dribble moves, like, you are gonna stun them or drop them on their face every single possession as of right now, because ankle braces doesn't work, but ankle breaker works. Agent 3 we're gonna have on necessity, and the reason is the same thing I said for volume shooter. It pops up for everything. Agent 3 is only supposed to pop up when you shoot an off dribble jump shot, but Agent 3 pops up when you shoot an off dribble jump shot, when you shoot a shot after you're dribbling and you stop on a dime. It pops up if you're dribbling at all. It pops up on fades. Like, Agent 3 is it this year, and that's one of the most overpowered badges on this game. Clint Breaker. Clint Breaker is God tier. I believe this is a top 2, if not. I think it's literally only one badge that's better than that. And when I get to it, y'all gonna know. I think Clint Breaker is one of the best badges on the game because it predicates you getting a blow by. You're gonna blow by your opponent every play. Even if he has gold clamps and you have gold Clint Breaker, like, you're gonna run past them. It's just how the game is right now. It's almost like they stiff armed the guy out their way, and rim running is so OP, so it just helps rim running. And everybody's not walking around with gold or Hall of Fame clamps, so it's very successful like 80% of the time. Dimer, I think Dimer is decent. Dimer hasn't really been a like game breaking badge ever. Yes, it does up your person that you're passing to's attributes when he shoots the ball, but like, unless you're really playing quick match, like most of our my players got 83s. Most people we're using in my team have 83s. Like, you not throwing the ball with Hoff Dimer every play. And even if you do, sometimes you get a different catch, you get a different timing, etc. because it's speeding up passes. So, like, the thing with Dimer, why Dimer will never be like God tier or necessity, is because say we're on the same team, whoever I'm talking to, whoever's watching this, and I pass the ball with Dimer to somebody and they shoot the ball and they miss. And then you pass the ball to them with no Dimer and they hit it. That's because it's a different timing and your jump shot speeds up when you pass with Dimer compared to when you don't pass it with Dimer. Floor general, I think this year it should be a necessity, especially on the Pro-Am court. I believe if anybody in your court can get floor general at least gold, those +3 attributes will be very needed, and it's only because there is no D leader anymore. So we should get floor general. Even in my team, those +3, those +4 stats. If a good card with Hall of Fame floor general comes out, I believe he should be on the court just because those +4 to all offensive attributes is amazing. Next, we got handles for days. Handles for days is literally a necessity, and it's just because the stamina on this game sucks. Handles for days has nothing to do with adrenaline boost at all, so you can have your handles for days on platinum. You still choke every time you dribble because you have asthma, and there's nothing you'll be able to do about it, but it still is a necessity because when you don't have it on, you don't even have asthma. You die and need an IV. Hyperdrive is also a necessity, and the reason it's a necessity is because for you already go slow enough laterally, and if y'all know laterally, that's when you're going left, right. Like, I get the ball right wing, I'm trying to attack left. I get the ball left wing, I'm trying to attack right. Or when you try to attack downhill, if you don't have hyperdrive on, it's almost like you go pretty slow, and it's very aggravating. And for you to do quick and timely dribble moves and actually get some form of a burst, even though the burst on the game is broke, you'll need hyperdrive. Killer combos is also a necessity because when you don't have it on, you dribble like a center, and you need to at least dribble like a point guard because you're not going to run as fast as a point guard. So the least you can do is look cute while you're dribbling. Mismatch expert. Mismatch expert is in underrated, and the reason mismatch expert is in underrated is because when you get a switch, if you have mismatch and clamp breaker, I think that is the best duo of badges on this game. Mismatch expert and clamp breaker. If you have mismatch expert and clamp breaker on, it's an automatic blow by on the center of the power forward. If you get a switch, automatic blow by. Blow by, blow by, blow by. Even without clamp breaker, it's a blow by. So that's why I got mismatch expert and underrated. Next, we got needle threader. Needle threader is just decent. There is no bullet passer this year, so needle threader is just how good the pass gets through. Like, you can have half needle on, and it's not really speeding up your pass. It's just how good the pass gets through when somebody's in the lane. So needle threader is just indecent. Post playmaker is also just in. Do I want to have an indecent or underrated? I'm gonna have an indecent because it was underrated last year. It's not really underrated this year because, like, yeah, you can get the ball in the paint. You're going to throw some quick passes. It's not a bad badge. It's not an amazing badge. I wouldn't even say it's a necessity this year because there is no... When post playmaker was combined with bullet passer, it was a lot different than post playmaker not being combined with anything but your pass accuracy. So you can have post playmaker on and your pass accuracy is too low, so you still throw slow passes. So that's why I just think it's decent this year. Quick first is... Honestly, bro, I'm going to keep it a stack, bro. Quick first step, not even all that this year because your player doesn't move that fast. So I'm going to put quick first step in decent. And yes, like, trust me, I'm not selling you short or nothing. Like having quick first step on Hoff compared to having it on, like, silver or gold in the past meant your player was so much faster than the players who don't have Hoff quick first step. Honestly, bro, if you don't have Hoff quick first step and have it on, like, so as long as you have quick first step on, you're fine. Like, it's not making you move so much faster than the person guarding you. You're barely gonna get past the person you're going versus. Like, it's just how it is. Like, quick first step isn't the reason you're blowing by people. Clamp breaker and mismatch is. So quick first step is just a decent badge this year. It's not underrated. I wouldn't even really say it's a necessity as it has been in the past. I just think it's a nice badge to have on this year. It's not as overpowered as it has been in the past though. Amped. I think amped is invisible, and the reason I think amped is invisible is because with the inconsistency of jump shot timing, and for the people who don't understand why I keep bringing up the inconsistency of jump shot timing, if I shoot the ball from the left wing 6 times, right, and I shoot it the same every single time, my shot releases are going to go green, early, late, slightly early. And that's with me not changing anything. I'm not saying it's a defender in my way or nothing. It's because sometimes you can't predict what catcher, what shot, or how slow it's going to load up, how fast it's going to load up, if you're going to spike, etc. So what AMP should do is allow you to still have either the same. I think AMP should be reworked to having the same shooting speed every single time you shoot. That's what I think AMP should do. AMP should, like, I'm not going to say if I'm blinking. If I'm out of stamina, I believe that I should still be able to shoot the same shot I would if I had all my stamina. That's the point of me having it on Hoff. So I think AMP is invisible. Next, we got Special Delivery. Special Delivery is an underrated badge on this game, and it's just because nobody throws lobs or flash. Like, if you really throw flashy passes with Special Delivery, you're gonna get take very quickly, but nobody does it because we don't have enough badge slots to put it on anybody, and we dang sure don't have enough badge slots to put it on anybody in my team. So, but Special Delivery has been good even since the nerfs. I don't know if you guys remember when Special Delivery was paired up with Hot Shot, and that's the best duo of badges we've ever had, but you would throw one flashy pass and your team would have team takeover. Like, Special Delivery is still just nobody takes the time out of their day to throw a flashy pass or throw a lob. We have Unpluckable. I should make my own tier of how bad Unpluckable is because Unpluckable doesn't work on this game. And if you put Hoff Unpluckable against Bronze Glove, you're gonna get ripped every play. So I know most people on my team, you haven't got to see it yet because the right cards with the right spamming tendencies aren't out yet, or people aren't unballing you enough to reach. Unpluckable doesn't work and needs to be reworked because I don't want to say locks shouldn't be getting plucks like how they are, but if Glove is going to work as good as it is, Unpluckable should work just as good as Glove if they're on the same tier. It shouldn't be a whopping difference, like, and that's what's wrong. Vice Grip is just decent. Like, Vice Grip, some people think it's glue hands. It's not. It's literally just you catching the ball off the rebound and not getting stripped, but I've seen people have it on Gold and Hoff and you still get stripped off the rebound. Plucks just got it. Like, it's just unlucky. You feel me? It's just very unlucky, so I just think it's a decent badge. Acrobat, this year Acrobat really isn't that bad if you're actually going to switch up your shot in midair. Like, you'll probably make it because most of us don't have layup timing on anyways, and anything you want goes on in the paint. So Acrobat really isn't that bad of a badge this year. Aerial Wizard, I think Aerial Wizard is underrated because the lobs on this game aren't as slow as they were last year. Like, Aerial Wizard allows you to get contact lobs, finish in traffic, finish on 4 people, get good dunk animations out of a bad lob. Like, Aerial Wizard is nice this year, and Lob City Finisher hasn't really been good since, like, 2K21 current gen. 22 lobs were non-existent, so it's good to see lobs are actually back. Back down Punisher necessity. If you're on a big man, you literally can just push him under the restricted area if you have more strength than him, and strength means a lot on this video game. So back down Punisher, you already know what it is. It's not underrated, but it is needed. Bully is God tier, and the reason Bully is God tier is because if you have Bully on Gold or Hawk, you almost can push anybody. Like in my team, if y'all have seen somebody who has Zion Williamson literally push your player out of the way, whether they have more strength than him or not, he literally pushes them out the way and just dunks on them, or pushes them out the way and lays it on them. So does Blake Griffin. So does the 6'8", 6'9", that you're seeing in the park. Like, everybody's just pushing through you and just dunking, and it's because Bully Clint Breaker is like the second best duo in the game because you're bullying somebody that you're getting a blow by on. Dream Shake is underrated because post isn't that bad on this game, and you actually get a stun when you do a Dream Shake. Honestly, I don't even know how to do a Dream Shake, but I know people who do Dream Shakes who have post scores, or do have people who are like Michael Jordan builds in my career, and I see them in park, and like, you get a stun off. Dream Shake is like ankle breaker, like in the post. So like, it's good, but you got to know what you're doing in the post to actually activate it. Drop Stepper is invisible, and the reason Drop Stepper is invisible because without Drop Stepper, you're gonna drop step the person anyways. When you do Drop Step and with Drop Stepper, like, it's like they give you a bad layup animation off the drop step. So like, it doesn't matter whether you have Drop Step on or don't have Drop Step on, you're still gonna drop step somebody. Like, it's because of the positioning in the paint this year. Like, if you push somebody into the post one step before the restricted area, you drop step them without Drop Stepper, you're sure gonna push them under the restricted area, and it's a bucket. So Drop Stepper really doesn't matter whether you have it on or not. Fast Twitch is a necessity because, like, if you don't have Fast Twitch on, there's these 2 layup animations. One is a double clutch layup where you like lean backwards, and the other one is like just a slow standing dunk with one hand. That is the only dunk on this game that probably gets blocked 90% of the time. You need Fast Switch on so you can mash and rim run as good as possible. Blinders, I think Blinders is decent. I don't think it's as gas as it was in the past. I don't even think it's a necessity because most guards don't even have it on in Pro-Am right now. Like, Blinders like pops up like 2 out of every 10 shots. Like, you can't shoot off somebody's shoulder and it say open like it has in the past. I've tried it on Hoff, same thing. Like, Blinders is just a decent badge this year. I won't even say it's invisible because I've seen it pop up. Fearless Finisher is underrated because Fearless Finisher absorbs the contact and lets you go up with anything you want, and you can go up with anything you want on this game, so I don't need to explain that badge any more than I already have. Giant Slayer is invisible. That badge hasn't worked in 10 years. Like, you can't just walk into a center's chest and go up and Giant Slayer is gonna pop up because you don't usually make contested layups with a little guard because it's only for smaller people. You don't usually make a contested layup with a smaller guard on a bigger player, but you can dunk on a bigger player. But layup, you're probably going to get your stuff punched to the nosebleed, so not a fan. Limitless Takeoff is God tier this year because the further you take off from, the better you are at rim running, and Limitless Takeoff ignores the resistance that the big man is putting up in your face while he's walling up. So say I'm Ben Wallace and I'm walling up, and you got Limitless Takeoff on go. I can't contest you going up, and the reason I can is because you take off from too far. It's nothing I can do. I just got to sit there and be like, hey, good take. Masher is a necessity for any big man or anybody who's going to be under the restricted area trying to go up. I won't say it's God tier because everybody's doing it, but it is a necessity and a badge that is needed this year for sure. We got Post Spin Technician. I think it's underrated. If you do the post spin and then cancel it out into the next post spin and then cancel it out and post spin again, post spin has been pretty OP for the last couple of years, especially when you have a mismatch. It's almost the move, like the go-to move to do, especially the inside post spin. So I like Post Spin Technician for the past 2 to 3 years. Posterizer is God tier because literally, like, if you have it on like gold, you just never miss a dunk. Like, you just dunk on 4 people. Like, you can put Ja Morant, and he has it on Hoff though. Put somebody in quick match or play now or my team who has it on gold and just drop 3 people. Dunk. You don't even got to use the right stick no more. You had to use the right stick last year to get contact. This year you just get them off the strength. So like, boom, dunk, boom, dunk, boom, dunk. You're literally untouchable. So Posterizer is God tier for sure. Pro Touch, now that some people have layup timing on, is pretty decent. It ups your stats every time you time a good layup. So decent. Rise Up, necessity. If you're going to be standing dunking or doing a standing dunk glitch, If y'all know what the standing dunk glitch is, it's literally when you have if you have full momentum going towards the paint, and you can do a driving dunk, and you just stand and dunk it because it makes the defenders literally jump like you're going for a driving dunk, which is why it works every single time. So if you're gonna stand and dunk glitch, you need to rise up as high as possible. Slithery is decent this year because you get contacts regardless, and it's not what it was in the past. In the past, like, Slithery was what Posterizer was supposed to be, and if you had Slithery on, you got more contacts. This year, you don't need nothing on. Like, you're just gonna dunk anyway. So Slithery's just decent. Anchor is, I'm gonna say, a necessity, even though you still get rim ran and mashed even if you have it on gold or half. It's good to have because you'll get more stops in the paint than when you don't have it on. Test out not having anchor on and then test having anchor on, and you'll see what I mean by how much of a necessity the badge really is. Catch and shoot is just decent. Catch and shoot hasn't been that overpowered for like 2 to 3 years because they add a badge that's better than catch and shoot. Like, Claymore is better than catch and shoot. It's no point in you having catch and shoot on when you have Claymore, which boosts it the longer you're standing still, and catch and shoot only boosts it when you're standing still. Like, it's kind of like, you know, you're just going back and forth. Then I'm just going to go to Claymore next. Claymore is a necessity. It's literally, no matter what game mode you're playing, if you are not the person dribbling the ball or setting the screen, as long as you stand still for 4 seconds, it's almost automatically knocked down. But you need to shoot the ball as soon as you catch it, and you can't put the ball on the ground. So it's catch and shoot, but you get a buff the longer you're standing still. So it's like set shooter, but it works. So if I'm standing on the wing for 4 seconds and you hit me, it's probably a 90% chance I make it because I just stood there for 4 seconds or 3 seconds or 2 seconds, whatever. Ankle braces is invisible. It doesn't work. Ankle breaker versus ankle braces. Ankle breaker wins 99 times out of 99. You're going to get dropped. You're going to get stunned. There's nothing you can do about it. Please give up. Box out beast is decent. You get wormed a lot this year, and worm's not even a badge. Even if you box them out, sometimes the rebound just falls over your head, so you wasted a box out and you should have just tried to out jump them. You can't predict where the rebound's going 90% of the time because somebody shoots a wide open brick and it hits the top of the backboard, and it's no way you can predict that. So box out beast isn't like god tier this year. We got brick wall. Brick wall is a necessity. With the movement on the game right now, you need your screens to hit, and since you need your screens to hit so much, like, you're gonna need brick wall. Challenger is god tier, and the reason Challenger is god tier because the ghost contests on this game are ridiculous. If you don't know what a ghost contest is, it's literally in the name. It's a contest that's a ghost. I can sit so far from you with Challenger on and put my right stick up or jump, and I'm gonna get a 50 or a 10 or a 15. If you green, a good shot. But other than that, you're gonna be, wow, how was that contested? Because Challenger is it. And it only works it's Intimidator, but only for the perimeter. And then Anchor is like Intimidator in the paint plus Rim Protector. So, Challenger, trust me, it's it. Chase Down Artist is literally invisible. You can have it on Hoff, you can have it on Gold, you can have it on Silver, you can have it on Bronze, you can have it on Platinum, you can have it on Superman tier. Like, they're dunking. You probably get an average of 1 to 2 chase downs a game. If you play a 48-minute game, you'll probably get 2 wide open chase downs. Like, but chase down was dumb gas last year, so obviously I see why it's almost non-existent this year. But Jesus Christ, you can't chase down anything. They'll literally cock the ball back to their foot, do a dumb dunk on purpose, and they still finish it. And now it's an N1 because you tried to chase it down. Clamps is a necessity. I won't say it's god tier because, like, you still not staying in front of somebody every single play. They're gonna blow by you eventually, or they're gonna run around you because when you try to strafe down by pressing L2 and hold intense D, they just let you walk past them. So, you know, you do what you gotta do. Glove. One second. We're gonna add a row above, and with the row above, we're just gonna have it for glove. There we go. Glove is by far the best badge on the game. There is not a badge on the game that is even anywhere near as effective as Glove is. And Clamp Breaker and Bully are amazing, but Glove has its own tier literally just because of how good of a badge it is. Like, you take the ball out of somebody's hands every single time you reach. Like, you know how you run out of adrenaline on offense and you can't do anything? People run out of adrenaline on defense and they still take the ball out of your hand. You want to know why? Because Glove is it. If you do not have Glove on your player, I don't care if you're a guard, a center, a coach, a water boy, put Glove on. Somebody's losing that rock. And Unpluckable doesn't work right now, so as long as Unpluckable doesn't work, Glove got it. Interceptor. Interceptor is a necessity for if you're going to try to play lanes. The lanes on this game are still as gas as they have been in the past. Only thing is you reach slower the more adrenaline you lose, so you have to actually time it to a certain extent, and sometimes the ball goes right past your face even though you played the lane perfect. You get used to it though. Still a necessity. Nothing's changed with Interceptor. Menace. Menace is decent. You get a bump, it drops your attributes. It's not underrated. It's not a necessity. Like, I bump you, I drop your attributes by 3, but it's cool because you have floor general on the court. So originally your stuff was +3 anyways. Now it's just what it regularly would be. Next we got off-ball pest. Off-ball pest is underrated, especially for slippery. Off-ball pest is the slippery off-ball counter. Like, if you play a center who has slippery off-ball high and he's slipping light and the off-ball pest, you can attach to him so he can't slip you as fast. Or if you have off-ball pest, somebody can rarely dex you because you'll be able to attach to his body by putting your right stick on him for a sec. Pick Dodger. Pick Dodger is a necessity this year because Brick Wall hits almost every time. So you need something that's going to help you get through the picks. Brick Wall beats Pick Dodger this year though, but Pick Dodger still allows you to get past the screen almost every time. And most people go under anyway, so it won't matter. Pogo Stick. Pogo Stick is just decent. You can jump 10 times. They're still scoring. Post Lockdown. Post Lockdown is just decent. If they're going to drop step you, they're going to drop step you. If they're going to post fade you, they're going to post fade you. You can stop somebody from post spinning you maybe with post lockdown, but if they inside post spin you, it's a bucket. So it's just decent. Rebound Chaser. Rebound Chaser is decent this year. I was going to put it in invisible because the ball bounces from the left corner to the right corner, but Rebound Chaser still works. It's just not as good as it was in the past because you can have it on Hall of Fame and you're probably not grabbing every single one. But for offense, I would put it as necessity because you grab a lot of offensive rebounds, but defensive rebounds, it doesn't really matter. So I'm going to put it in decent. But for O boards, it would be a necessity. Workhorse. Workhorse is invisible too. Only reason most people think Workhorse work is because you get to save the ball all the time now, which you haven't ever been able to do in any 2K. But Workhorse, it pop up, but I mean, you still get the offense still outruns you. If I make you drop the ball and we both chase the ball and I have Workhorse off, you're still gonna get to the ball before me, and that's why I think it's invisible at the moment. Clutch Shooter. Clutch Shooter is decent. Not much to say on Clutch Shooter. Comeback Kid is underrated. When you down literally a point, your attributes go up. Now I'm not gonna say if you down 10, your attributes go up 10, but it's literally. I've had Comeback Kid on Hoff and been losing in a game and like literally took over the game by myself. Like, Comeback Kid is it this year, but you have to have enough slots to put it on. Next you got Corner Specialist, decent, and then we got Deadeye, invisible because it never pops up and you just hit contested with or without it. So that would be where I would rank all the badges. If you have any other questions, make sure you DM me. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm going to be doing other tier lists, new player tier list coming for my team soon, and then build tier list coming soon for like my career and stuff. Hope you guys enjoyed the tier list though. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Go to my Twitch, Splashy, and come say hi, come ask some questions. Go to my Twitter, put on notice, Splash Edition. I love every single one of y'all. Make sure you have a blessed day. Peace.